Welcome to Mrs. Shepherd's classroom. This is Dana, the explainer. Our first lesson in algebra is on variables and algebraic expressions. It's going to be fun! To begin, I want to talk about the difference between an expression versus an equation. Here I have given an example of both. The expression 3x squared plus x minus 2y. It has numbers and variables. Same thing with the equation as numbers and variables. 2x plus 3 equals 8. But the difference is the equation has an equal sign and the expression does not. With expressions, we usually simplify them or evaluate them. And then equations, we will solve them. In today's lesson, we will simply just be writing different expressions, and then in the future, we'll move into simplifying and evaluating, and then later we'll move into solving equations. In this lesson, we will be converting between a verbal expression and an algebraic expression. So it's important that you understand which words match up with which symbols. So what I want you to do is to pause the video and see if you can figure out which ones match up. Now you can check your answers. The plus sign, we have sum, more than, and increased by. The subtraction sign, the difference, less than, decreased by, or fewer than. And then the multiplication sign, times, or the product of, twice, meaning 2 times, or whenever you see the word of. Division, divided by or the quotient. And then we always have parentheses when we say the quantity of, and then you would have some sort of operation within the parentheses. And then to refer to an exponent, either the power of, or if it's to the exponent of 2, to the power of 2 we would say squared, or to the power of 3 we would say cubed. Here I have written 3 algebraic expressions, and our goal is to write a verbal expression using the previous words to explain these algebraic expressions. Now, there's really multiple ways that you can write these. So you might come up with a different way of writing it that I knew, but that does not mean that one of us is incorrect. For the first example, I have written 3 different verbal expressions. You can choose whichever you like the best. We could write it's the difference of x and 3, because difference means subtraction. Or you could say that x is decreased by 3, or you could say 3 less than x, because we're taking 3 away from x. All of those are correct verbal expressions. The next one, we have 2, and then we're multiplying by y squared, and then plus 7. So let's see if we can figure out a few different ways to write a verbal expression. Here are 2 different examples. You could say the sum of 2 times y squared and 7, because you're adding 2 times y squared plus 7. Or you could say 7 more than the product of 2 and the square of y. I want you to now pause the video and see if you can come up with one on your own for the third one, and then compare yours to mine. My 2 examples are twice m cubed divided by 5, or you could write the quotient of 2 times the cube of m and 5. And remember, yours could be slightly different than mine, but still be correct. We're going to continue with the same idea, except we'll be working backwards. This time I've given you verbal expressions, and we're going to write algebraic expressions. The first one says the quotient of m and 2. Well, we know that quotient means division, so we're just going to be dividing m by 2. So m divided by 2, or you could write it as the fraction m over 2. The next one says 32 more than the product of a and b. So we're adding 32 to the product of a and b, and product means times. So you're multiplying a times b and then adding 32 to that product at the end. Okay, once again, I want you to pause the video and try this last one on your own. 1/2 the square of x decreased by 6. I have written it two different ways. 1/2 the square of x, so 1/2 x squared, you can multiply x squared times 1/2, or you can divide it by 2, which is the same as cutting it in half. And then decreased by 6 means you're subtracting 6. And now for a story problem. Mr. Martinez orders 250 keychains printed with his athletic team's logo and 500 pencils printed with their web address. Write an algebraic expression that represents the cost of the order. So we have 250 keychains. Let's give the price of the keychains the variable k. And then we have 500 pencils. Let's give the price of each pencil the variable p. So we have to think about an expression that represents the cost of the entire order. Well, all you have to do, we have 250 keychains multiplied by the price of each keychain, and then we're adding it to 500 pencils multiplied by the price of each pencil. And here we have an algebraic expression that represents the cost of the entire order. So that's the end of our lesson. I hope it was an easy one to the beginning of the year. Good luck with the assignment on writing algebraic expressions.